has the war in the Ukraine changed in the transatlantic policy? Did it resuscitate the relations between the EU, Europe, and the USA?
Well, certainly the war, I think, has had a profound effect on transatlantic cooperation. It's unprecedented, the amount of close ties we now have on defense and security. The U.S. is now deeply involved. The U.S. is back in Europe from a defense and security perspective. Poland is playing the key role as the indispensable ally in protecting all of Europe and being really the NATO member state on the front lines. But in many ways, this growth in defense and security cooperation was already there, of course. But I think what we're seeing now is a recommitment to NATO and a recommitment to the alliance, both from Washington and from European capitals. And not to mention the fact that Finland and Sweden are about to join NATO. This is a transformational moment for transatlantic cooperation.
You have spoke about the key role of Poland right now. Do you think that there is a perspective for Poland to maybe switch the role of the main ally in the geopolitical context, that was played by Germany for many years?
Well, I think the future of Germany's leadership in Europe is still very much in question. We've seen very, very transformative security and defense policy. I don't think many people expected a post-Merkel government to make the kinds of decisions they have in terms of military and security assistance, in terms of energy policy. Germany is now talking about getting off all Russian energy, oil and gas. This was unimaginable. Just last summer, the Germany struck a deal with the United States to make sure the Nord Stream 2 pipeline will go forward. Now that project is done. But I think the question is, will Germany take up that mantle of leadership? Right now, France is providing the vision, which I don't think benefits all of Europe, frankly. I think there's an opportunity here for Central European countries like Poland, like the Baltic states, and others to take a much more prominent role in defining the future of Europe than they have before. And I think it's long overdue.
Of course, we see now cooperation of the United States and the EU in the field of facing threat from Russia. But do you think it will last for longer? Will it be used in other threats that may come and in relations with the rest of the world?
My hope, of course, is that the kind of unity we've seen from the alliance, and it's not perfect. We have Hungary. There's been a real problem in blocking European decision-making. So we do have some serious issues there. But I hope in the long term, the kind of cooperation we're seeing now will also be channeled into solving other major challenges that we have as an alliance. China being the top one. Frankly, the U.S. needs Europe if we're going to confront China. The U.S. cannot go one-on-one with China. We're not the unipolar power we used to be in the United States. We need to do this as an alliance. We need to do things better as an alliance in technology cooperation. We have this meeting coming up of the so-called TTC, the Trade and Technology Council. But it must have a much more ambitious agenda, because if we don't define the rules of the road for the internet and the digital domain, China and others will. So I hope that this is really a moment of resurgence for the alliance, to not just focus on the military threat, which of course is the most important in the short and medium term, but in the long term to come together and finally be on the same page when it comes to these very, very long-term issues. There's so many to list besides the ones I mentioned that we need to solve as a community of democracies. And if we don't, others will fill the gap.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.